Hey guys, how you going? I'm gonna keep it really quick because I'm just about to head off to work. But today I want to cover dates and like when you're out with girls and they have this whole thing where they're like, oh, we're just gonna go off to the toilet together, and say you're hanging out with like 5 girls and then they're all just like, yeah, let's go to the toilet together, and you're just wondering, what do they do in the toilets? Okay, like besides the fact that we all pee and yeah, whatever, but what else do we do there? Why does it take us so long? Okay, so it's pretty obvious to me, but in case you're a guy and you just have no idea what goes on and you're really mystified by the whole thing, I'm going to actually tell you like what we do and why we do it. So, say you're on a date with a girl and things are going really great, and she's like, yeah, she's off to the toilet, right? And she doesn't come back for like 15 minutes. You're like, okay, seriously, like it shouldn't take you that long. What is she doing? Well, there's a couple of things that she could do when she's there. Usually, girls will go to the toilets to just like get a timeout, just like, okay, be able to, if they're on the date and like it's a little nerve-wracking and you've gone through the date, but she just needs like to have a little timeout, she'll go there and she'll go to the toilet and she'll either just like reapply, like just make sure that everything's okay in terms of her looks, like she'll go look in the mirror and just make sure she hasn't got lettuce in her teeth or something like that. Or other than that, she's also gonna call, like if it's been a really, like say it's the first or second date, if it's been a really good date, she's gonna go and call up her friend and go, oh my god, this guy is so awesome, he's just, blah 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 blah, and she's gonna have like this 5-minute conversation with her friend who's gonna encourage her and validate her and do all that. As well as that, like if the date's going really bad, then she's gonna call her friend and be like, oh my god, we need to think of an escape plan right now, and so this is kind of like what they do to kind of just sometimes they can rehash the date, or just spend some time and figure things out and just make sure that everything's okay. And so it's kind of similar when like girls go in a group and there's like all 5 of them, it's like, hey, let's all go to the toilet together. It's like, why? But we use that as time to kind of talk, basically. Like if you're out with a group of guys and some of you guys are friends, some of you guys are interested in one another or something like that, then it's a really good time to just be like, hey, let's go somewhere, and that usually is just the toilets, and then we're just like, oh, what do you reckon? I'm having such a good time, everyone's reapplying their makeup, or making sure everything's fine. And it's also a good time for the girls just to have their girly conversation, like, because if you didn't notice, women love talking, and it's just sometimes we feel like we need to talk without men because we don't want them to hear everything, and there's a certain way that we do talk that we as women we only understand. Like we can speak to each other without actually saying words, like we'll hold ourselves a certain way or have a certain expression on our face, or we'll be giving off a certain vibe, and like our friends can really pick that up and just be like, they'll just look at us and just go, okay, what's wrong? And here's another like quick and random thought in regards to that. Men who actually can read the signals that we give out, like say we're feeling really insecure, or maybe there is something wrong with us. If we're with a partner or we're on a date, or whatever, we're with a male counterpart, and he can actually sense that there is something wrong with us without us actually having to verbalize it, that means the absolute world to us. Like that, I don't know, there's just something about that just creates that instant kind of attraction and being drawn to you, because it's like, oh my gosh, she understands me. And women, they want to be respected, understood, but also to an extent dominated over. It's true, like it makes me twinge when I say that, but is very true. Like we need to feel safe and secure, and being you as a man, you being in control is part of that. So and I was just recently listening to a video where it was like a DVD audio thing, and there was this couple, and they had a really honest relationship. You know, they've married for like 3, 4, 5 years, but there was just no passion in the relationship. And the main cause of that was because the woman was very, like, she was a doctor, and you know, he was successful as well, but you know, she had to kind of take on a more masculine role and take care of people when she was in her job. And her husband didn't really recognize this and just thought, you know, he knew about her past, and he was like, well, I'm going to love her by pleasing her and making sure that she feels loved. And this created this this killed the polarity in the relationship. There was no pull and push. That's where passion comes from, you know, that difference between people. And the way in which that was solved was the man basically had to man up and stop focusing on trying to please her, which he thought she wanted, and really started giving her what she needed, which was that strength, that safety, that security, and that trust that, you know what, he was going to man up, he wasn't going to go anywhere, he wasn't going to do anything, and he was going to own her. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting, and I'm probably over 5 minutes already, but kind of shifted from my toilet conversation, but it's all kind of related. And so if you guys wanted to know what chicks do in toilets, there you go. And also what we really, really want to find in a man and what creates a lot of attraction for us, it's being a man, basically. It's really not that hard. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Bye.